Hi everybody, welcome to yet another week of me showing you some of the amazing animals that we keep here. Now this week I thought we'd have a tortoise and turtle week, so I've taken some videos of some of the different tortoises we've got and done a little bit of talking about them as well, so I hope you enjoy them. Okay, enjoy the animals, bye. Okay, so here we have some of our terrapins, which come outside in the summer when it's nice and warm. And you can see there's some in the pond there, and I'll pan a little bit. Swimming around. And a lot of them like sunbathing. So they sit on the side of the pond here. There's some more up here, look. Now, we've never actually ever bought a terrapin. These have all been rescues. And what happens, people go to an aquatic shop and they see little baby terrapins swimming around, and they think they look really cool, so they buy a couple, bring them home, and inevitably they normally end up putting them in their tropical fish tank. Now, being an omnivore, in other words they eat both meat and vegetables, they soon start eating all your tropical fish, and then once they finish eating all your fish, you end up with them eating all your plants, and then eventually they grow into these quite large little turtles, and people get fed up with them because they can be very, very smelly and very dirty. So that's when they try to rehome them. And I even know at Ferring that when you had some down there, they were where people have had them and basically want to rehome them. We've got about 10 of them in here at the moment, and that's really the maximum amount I really want in here. I don't really want any more. There's one over the back here. This is the one that, one of the ones that actually came from Ferring. There she is. You can see she's having a lovely time just sitting out in the sunshine, sunning herself. Now, if you have a terrapin at home and you decide you don't want it anymore, you need to rehome it. Now, obviously, if you can't rehome it, no one wants it. People have been known to let them go in either our local ponds or rivers, and that is totally illegal. If you get caught putting your turtle or terrapin into a pond, there's a £10,000 fine per animal, because you're introducing a non-native species into a local environment, and then they totally disrupt that environment. I'm just going to go in and see if we can get a few more little shots of the ones in the water here. If I go a bit closer, you'll find that these ones here, look, they'll suddenly jump in the water. There you go. Look. maybe they won't. Okay, so this is Hugo, and Hugo is our giant African spur-thighed tortoise. And this is actually the third largest species of tortoise in the world. The largest ones are the Galapagos ones, which come from the Galapagos Islands. Then you have the ones from Aldabra, which is an island near the Seychelles. And then you have these, which are very large tortoises. And just to put into perspective there, he's about a metre long almost, just under a metre long and very heavy. Now he does have a really interesting history, because this one was originally owned by someone working for the British consulate in Abu Dhabi. And when the contract came to the end, she had this big pet tortoise, and she thought, well, what am I going to do with it? So she actually arranged for one of the local people to take it on. She made arrangements and left some money. Unfortunately, a week before she was due to leave, she reversed over the tortoise with her 4x4 and cracked all the shell. So obviously it had to go to the vet and be mended, and there was a big crack down the side of the shell, which they managed to mend. Anyway, she thought, well, okay, I could still leave it with this person, but being in a foreign country, what they probably would have done was probably not bothered with looking after the tortoise and just kept the money. So she thought, okay, I'll bring it back to the UK. So she arranged for it to be imported and being transferred on a plane, got it back to the country, and then suddenly realised that she didn't have the space or the needs or the ways to look after it. So that's when we rehomed it, and that was about 15 years ago. Since then his shell is totally repaired, so you can't even really tell now that he's was ever damaged. They do eat an incredible amount of food, favourite being dandelion leaves, what he's eating at the moment. I'm going to pan in for you. Let's see. So the main difference between this tortoise and the more commonly kept tortoise is that these ones can't be hibernated. They have to be kept about 25 to 30 degrees. So this is one of our red-footed tortoise, and these ones come from the Amazon rainforest. Now, although they do like to eat a lot of vegetation, they'll also eat dead animals or eggs or slugs or snails, anything they can actually find on the rainforest floor. So there again, they're known as an omnivore. It's called a red-footed tortoise because at the front there you can see it's got some beautiful red legs, and they're really enjoying this lovely sunny weather at the moment. But again, a tropical tortoise that needs to be kept warm all through the winter. Okay, this is one of our European tortoises, one of the more commonly kept tortoises in the country. This is a Hermann's tortoise, and they come from southern France, Italy, Spain. Now there's three different species of European tortoise that were commonly kept in captivity. You've got the Hermann's, the spur-thighed, and the marginated tortoise, which is the one that comes from Greece and islands around there. Now, people used to think that tortoises their main food would be lettuce, tomatoes and cucumber. They love it. If you feed a tortoise lettuce and tomatoes, it'll eat it all day. But unfortunately, it's really, really bad for them. If you feed your tortoise just lettuce, tomatoes and cucumber, I can more or less guarantee that it will die. Now, the reason being is that there's not much nutrition in lettuce, tomatoes and cucumber. It's mainly made out of water. In fact, it's 98% water, so although the tortoise is eating an awful lot of food, it's not actually any goodness. But a pretty cool tortoise. Okay, so this is the leopard tortoise, and this is the one that we used to have down at Ferring. Now, unfortunately, when he was younger, he wasn't fed the correct diet. And we know that, or I know that, is because if you look at the top of his shell here, you can see that the shell is all lumpy. Yeah, and that's basically because he ended up with too rich food and too much water in the diet. So he was probably fed just lettuce, tomatoes and cucumber, things like that, which aren't really good for him. Now, we've had a bit of a struggle with this one to actually get him to be healthy again. He went for a couple of dodgy patches, purely from the fact of his past history. But as you can see now, he's actually quite alert, and he's really enjoying this lovely warm weather. Again, there are tropical species that need to be kept warm all through the winter, and he's running around. So at the moment I've got him out in this little pen here just so he can spend some really nice sunny weather and time out in the sunshine rather than being in his vivarium. Now again, these are bred in big numbers, and people think they're an easy tortoise to keep. They're not. They're probably one of the harder ones to keep. So really, if you want a pet tortoise, you should really be looking at one of the European species, because obviously they're a lot more accustomed to our climate. Now the little tortoises I have in here, these are babies, and these are called Horsfield's tortoises, and they come from Russia and Afghanistan. Now, when I was young, you'd be able to buy a tortoise for next to nothing. In fact, you could buy a tortoise at the pet shop for about 10 shillings, which was 50p. Eventually, so many tortoises were brought into the country, they actually became endangered. So the government put a total ban on them. You could no longer buy a wild-caught tortoise. So what the pet shops did, they looked for tortoises that didn't have to have a licence or certificate, and they went off to Russia and Afghanistan, and they found these tortoises here, which are called Horsfield's tortoises, and they brought them back, and they become like popular pets. They don't get very big, about the size of a tea plate, but you can see they are quite active. And again, the best foods for these are dandelions, thistles, grass. They come from very dry places, and juicy fruit and vegetables really isn't very good for them. People think tortoises take a long time to grow. They don't. These, we actually bought these last October, and they were the size of a 50p piece. And as you can see now, yeah, they're quite big. They're probably about, I don't know, probably the size of a donut at the moment. So we've got 3 of those in there. Right, so there we are. We've come to the end of yet another one of the sessions of me showing you around some of the animals. I hope everyone's keeping safe and well and enjoying the nice sunny weather, and hopefully we'll be able to see you all very soon. Have a good week. Bye bye now.